Hi girls and welcome to the Illustrator Skills pen tutorial. In this video you are going to have a look at how we can create some curves and nice lines that are going to help us to form nice designs and shapes within Illustrator. Particularly useful for some of the early activities that you're going to embark on, in particular vectorizing or tracing over some of these graphic logos. Now we're going to be working with the Texan Bulls logo first. So what we're going to do here for exercise 1 is we're actually going to save this image. So I'm just going to right click, save image as, and I'm going to call that Bulls logo, and I'm going to save that to my desktop. And there we go, we'll save it to the desktop, and in the background I've actually got Adobe Illustrator open and ready to start. So what we'll do is we'll create new, and I'm going to go over to print and I'll click on A4 and we'll set the orientation as being landscape and create. Wonderful. We're now ready to start our work. Now what I might do is I'm just going to use my pan tool and just pan over here for a moment. So the first thing that I need to do is to bring in my Bulls logo. So to do that, I'm actually going to place an image or place the file. So I'll go File, Place. Then I'm going to find that Bulls logo, which is on my desktop. There it is. We'll place that. And then I'm just going to click in the center of the page there to drop the graphic. Now you can see the graphic has come out quite large. I need to reposition and I need to rescale that. So I'll just use the selection tool and I'll move that over into the center of the screen. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just scale this down. Now, when you're scaling things down, you should always use the Shift key. So I'm holding down the Shift key and I'm scaling this down. Now, I'll undo that and I'll just show you without the Shift key. You can see what's happening there. I can actually distort the proportions of the graphic. So always use the Shift key when you're scaling images up and down. So there we go. That's about the size that I'd like this to be. And I'll just click off. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be tracing over this graphic and hopefully we're going to create this exact graphic. So the first thing we need to do is to set up a couple of layers. So over on the right hand side here, there's 3 panels or 3 tabs. I'm going to click on the layers tab. And you can see currently there is layer 1. There is only one layer. And in fact, what we want to do is create another layer. So if we go down to the bottom right there, you'll see create new layer. So I've done that. I'm going to create layer 2 or rename layer 2 as new artwork. Layer 1, I'm going to right click there, or double click, sorry, and I'm going to rename that original. Okay, and I've done that. And basically what that means is the new artwork is where we're going to trace. Just think as a sheet of paper that you're tracing over, and the original is obviously underneath. So that's very important that the new artwork layer is on top and the original is underneath. And the second thing that I can do is I can actually lock that layer. Just beside the eye there is a padlock button. All right, let's crack on. A fast game's a good game. All right, over on the left-hand side here, you'll notice that I have white fill and I have black stroke or outline, if you like. I don't want to have any fill. So the first thing I'm going to do, because fill is currently here, I'm going to click on the red diagonal line there, which will make that no fill. But we do have stroke. I'm going to click on the stroke here, and I'm actually going to change the stroke. In fact, what I'll do, let's go over here to properties for a moment. I'm just going to click there. Yep, wonderful. And let's maybe choose our pen tool. We've got that there. So you can see over here on the appearance, there is no fill. Currently, the stroke is black. Now, black probably wouldn't be a good color to trace over with this graphic here because it's already quite a dark color. Oh, and while you'll notice, it actually has a pen there with a like a cross sign through it. It's like it's not happening. It's not allowing me to do anything. So one of the things I need to do here before I continue is make sure that I'm drawing on the correct layer. You can see currently the original layer is locked. It's got a padlock on, which means I can't edit that layer. I actually want to be on the new artwork layer. So I've just clicked on that. That's now active. All right, so now you can see my pen tool. Cool. All right, so let's go back to properties here. I'm going to change my stroke to something that's a little bit more in contrast with the colors that we've got. I'm actually going to choose this cyan color here. And I'm also going to bump up the thickness of my stroke to about 3. There we go, 3. Just to make it a little bit more visible for you. Now, a good little tip for zooming in and out on your graphic is to use Control plus and Control minus to zoom in and out. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can use the pan tool, which is the hand here, and that'll just help move your object around on the page. But right now I've got it set up pretty much in the center of the page, and I'm going to make it about that large on my screen. All right, here we go. We're going to grab the pen tool. Now, just off to the side here, I'm just going to demo a couple of things. If I click on the mouse button, you can see it drops an anchor. Okay, and then if I click again, it will draw a line to that next point. So I'm going to click, 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 and close there. So you can see that shape that I've drawn. Very straight lines, and that's simply because I was just going click from one point, click to the next point. These points here are called anchor points, and if you hover over those, it will actually tell you that that's an anchor point. Now I'm going to delete that. I'm just going to do something else. This time I'm going to create a curve line, or a Bezier curve, if you like. So if I click there, I've dropped the anchor point, and I'm going to move up the top here, but this time instead of clicking the left mouse button, letting go, I'm going to hold down the left mouse button, which is held down currently, and then I'm moving my mouse. And then I let go, and you can see how I've drawn that curve. So that's the way that this works. So let's get started with tracing this. Now I'm going to go around in a clockwise direction. All right, follow what I'm doing here. Pen tool, I'm going to drop an anchor there. Now, that's the next point where I want to get to. Now the question is, can I draw all of that in one go? Well, let's see what happens. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to hold the left mouse button down, and I'm moving the mouse at the same time. And you can see that I've managed to easily bend that into the desired shape. At this point, I want to drop my anchor, so I'm going to press the Enter key. All right, I've done that. Now the next thing that I want to draw is this curve around here. Let's see what happens if I go click there. So I've set my anchor point. Let me go down to here, and let me see whether I can bend it. All right, now it's not really conforming to the shape that I'd like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this. I'm basically going to go to about the midpoint, somewhere around there, hold that left mouse button down, move the mouse at the same time, kind of get that curve in there, wonderful, and then press Enter once again to drop that anchor. This time, I'm going to connect to the anchor. It's very important that you can see the word anchor when you're about to click on it. So I'll go from there, that anchor, to that point there, and I'm just going to, again, bend, holding that left mouse button while I'm doing this, and I'm moving the mouse at the same time. Okay, I've got that, drop my anchor. Now you'll see with this curve here, it goes external and then it goes internal. I can't do all of this in one go. I have to do it in 2 moves. So I'm basically going to go from here. So I'll click, and I'm going to go to about there, move my mouse at the same time. Again, I'm holding down the left mouse button all the while until I'm happy, and then I let go, and hey presto, I'm happy. So I'm going to hit Enter there to drop the anchor. This time I'm going to do another curve, click there, and click there, and I'm just going to put a fine little curve in there. Yep, there it is. Now with this next one, it's a straight line, so that's easy. So it's just a click and a click. Again, drop that anchor by pressing the Enter key. Now we need to get back to our home position up here. So I'm going to start at that anchor point. I'm going to click on that anchor point, and let's see whether we can bend that in there. Look at that. Wonderful. Look how fast I managed to do that. Really, really quickly in tracing that. And look how many control points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The smoother you have your image, the better it is for you. So the key to this is do it in as few moves as possible. All right, let's crack on. Let's move on to the next part. Again, I'm going to go around in a clockwise direction. So I'm going to start here, click. I'm going to move down to here. And again, I'm just trying to finesse that into position. I'm happy with that. Drop the anchor. Okay, I'm going to start from there, click and click. That's a nice straight line. And I can go to there because that's a nice straight line as well. We'll drop the anchor again. This is a curve. Very important. By the way, I can't start here and then go back to here. I need to go the way that I'm going. So we'll go from there. We'll go to there, holding down that left mouse button and bend that in there. Now you're probably thinking, that looks pretty easy. Trust me, it's a little bit harder to do on your first time. Straight line, easy. Just a click and a click. Now, I'm going to use my hand here just to move my page down a little bit like so. Now, I'm thinking that this one here, let's just see whether I can actually do this in one go. Can I go from there to there in one go? Now, you can see it's not quite conforming to the shape that I'd like. So let's split this again. We'll go about from there to there. Drop that anchor. Click on that anchor. We'll go from there to there. Let's try and get that transition nice and kind of smooth. Yeah, that looks okay. All right, what about this one? Let's see what we can do from here. Can we do that in one go? From there to there. Oh, let's see. Hey, you know, that's not too bad. That's not bad at all. Wonderful. All right, happy days. All right, we're almost there. We just have the star to do. I'll use my pan tool again. You know what? The star's easy. It's just those straight lines, isn't it? Click, click. And remember, if you're unsure as to you know, where you should be clicking, you can always zoom in with the Control Plus. There we go. Wonderful. So there, I've basically traced all of the artwork or the line work needed. Now, at this point, we need to basically add some color. And our clients wants to make sure that we choose the right colors, and that's really easy in Illustrator. Love this tool. Watch this. So I'm going to select this path here, and that's called a path. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go and select the eyedropper tool. Now watch this piece of magic. I can then go over this particular color, click the left mouse button, and then the path or that object that I've drawn now becomes that color, that exact color that sits underneath it. So this time, selection tool, just grabbing this path, use my eyedropper tool, and I'm going to sample that color that's underneath it. Boom, fantastic. All right, this time I'm going to select the star. And you know what? Where's some white? Where can I find white? Well, there's a lot of white around here. So I can just sample that. Wonderful. Last thing that I need to do, drag a box around everything there, right click and group. Now here's the magic moment. I'm going to move mine across to the side. Now look at the difference. Look at these jagged edges around here because it's a pixelated image, and look at how clean mine is. And here's the beauty. I can scale this up. I can make it really large, and it looks super, super crisp. Wonderful. So basically, girls, that's what you're going to do in your first go with the pen tool. You're going to recreate the logo, and you're going to do it exactly how I did it, and I hope you have a little bit of fun doing that. And girls, I'll see you in the next video.